Have you ever felt like a beginner in your work, while someone treats you like an expert? Or maybe you have felt like you don't belong in a university, despite earning good grades and worrying that you were just lucky to get accepted? Or even you felt like your success is just a coincidence, despite gaining recognition for your work and worrying that you're not as talented as others think? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may be experiencing imposter syndrome. But what is it? It is a psychological phenomenon where high-achieving people doubt their accomplishments and worry that they're not good enough, even when they've done well in the past or even are experts in the field. This syndrome can affect anyone, no matter their social status, work background, skill level, or degree of expertise. It is estimated that 70% of people will experience at least one episode of this phenomenon at some point in their lives. People who experience imposter syndrome tend not to talk about how they are feeling with anyone and struggle in silence. But when you keep part of yourself hidden, it can cause feelings of shame and guilt. It also causes fear about what would happen if people found out about the real you. If you wonder whether you might have imposter syndrome, ask yourself the following questions. Do you worry a lot about tiny mistakes or things you didn't do perfectly in your work? Do you think that your achievements are because of good luck or something that happened outside of your control? Do you get upset when people are trying to help you improve your work? Do you feel like you are not really as good as people think you are, and that someone will soon find out? Do you act like you're not good at something, even though you actually know a lot more than other people? So, while reading those questions, did you feel, yes, this is about me? If so, then maybe you are experiencing imposter syndrome. And maybe we can help. We'll give 10 tips and tricks what you could do to overcome imposter syndrome, but keep in mind that this channel is only for informative and educational purposes. If you often find yourself feeling like you are a fraud or an imposter, it may be helpful to talk to a therapist. The negative thinking, self-doubt, and self-sabotage that often characterize imposter syndrome can affect many areas of your life. When that's said, here are 10 tips you could follow. Tip number 1. Talk to someone. Reach out to a friend or family member and talk to them about your feelings. It's important to acknowledge your imposter feelings and realize that you are not alone in experiencing them. Tip number 2. Reframe your thoughts. Instead of focusing on the negative thoughts, reframe them into positive ones. For example, instead of "I don't deserve this success," try "I worked hard for this and I earned it." Tip number 3. Identify your strengths. Make a list of your accomplishments, skills, and strengths. This can help you remind yourself that you are capable and deserving of your success. Tip number 4. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and treat yourself as you would treat a friend. Remember that it's okay to make mistakes and that everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. Tip number 5. Challenge your inner critic. When your inner critic starts to bring you down, challenge it by asking yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have to support it? If you can't answer, then probably they are wrong assumptions. Tip number 6. Take action. Take small steps towards your goals and celebrate your progress. Remember that every step forward is a success and a chance to learn and grow. Tip number 7. Practice self-care. It's important to prioritize your overall well-being by taking care of your physical and mental health. You can achieve this by engaging in regular exercise, eating healthy and balanced food, and incorporating stress-reducing activities such as meditation or yoga into your daily routine. Tip number 8. Refuse to let it hold you back. No matter how much you feel like you are a fraud or that you don't belong, don't let that stop you from pursuing your goals. Keep going and refuse to be stopped. Tip number 9. Stop comparing. Every time you compare yourself to others in a social situation, you will find some fault with yourself that fuels the feeling of not being good enough or not belonging. Instead of comparing yourself to others, try to focus on your own progress and growth, and celebrate your achievements. This mindset can lead to a more positive and fulfilling life. And finally, tip number 10. Seek professional help. If your imposter syndrome is causing significant distress or interfering with your life, consider talking to a therapist who can provide professional support and guidance. A therapist can work with you to identify the root causes of your imposter syndrome and develop personalized strategies to build your confidence, improve your self-esteem, and achieve your goals. Remember, seeking professional help is a sign of strength, and it can lead to a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Those were 10 tips and tricks on how to overcome imposter syndrome. However, while imposter syndrome causes high achievers to doubt their abilities, the opposite phenomenon is the Dunning-Kruger effect, which causes people to overestimate their competence in a particular field, even if they are below average. If you want to learn more about this fascinating phenomenon, check out this video or click on the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and hit this like button.